obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Frank, when you think Fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sunkissed Orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
Across Iowa, you don't have to look far to find a bank that's got your back. From just around the corner to the next town over, hundreds of neighborhood banks are going the distance to ensure your future looks brighter than ever. By providing jobs, supporting local businesses, strengthening communities, and helping your dreams become reality. Here, the life you build is backed by Iowa banks. See how banks are making a difference near you at iowabankers.com.
Living your best life means something different to everyone, especially when it comes to healthcare. That's why Mercy One offers compassionate, personalized care. We are here for you with one team of experts, providing access to the primary care and highly rated specialty care you need, easily and conveniently. So go ahead, live your best life. We're with you every step of the way. Mercy One, your best life, our one purpose.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders, it's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on a successful year, and remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
You're watching the 2023 Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. It's day 2 at State, and we've got an exciting Class 4A quarterfinal matchup coming your way as the Sioux City Bishop Heelan Crusaders go head-to-head with the Cedar Rapids Xavier Saints. And hello, basketball fans. Delighted to have you with us here on this Tuesday evening from Iowa's capital city, here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy, alongside former Miss Iowa basketball and Drake Bulldog Tammy Blackstone. I'm Hunter Phillips, and Tammy, you know, as the old saying goes, save the best for last, and this Class 4A quarterfinal features the two teams that fought for the 4A championship a year ago.
Absolutely. I think the fans here are really in for a treat. Not only is this a rematch of that championship game, we have 4 returning players that were on that all-tournament team last year, 2 from each of these teams today.
A lot of experience, and these two teams actually faced one another way back in November, a game in which Xavier won. But ever since then, Bishop Heelan, all they've done is rattle off 22 straight victories. And so when you come here to State, Tammy, you know, there's nerves settling in the air, but like you said, there's also experience too. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic.
It is. Bishop Heelan is returning 4 of their starters from last year's team, while Cedar Rapids Xavier actually graduated all of their starters except for Libby Fandel. But you're right, there's still no lack of experience on either side. I'm guessing that Cedar Rapids Xavier, even though they're coming in today as the underdog, does not feel like that probably today.
Now let's go ahead and take a look at our road to State. You see for Cedar Rapids Xavier 16-7. They defeated Western Dubuque to make it here to State for the second consecutive year. A team that is very efficient from the field, and like we mentioned, Libby Fandel, one of the top players in the state, can do a little bit of everything for this Saints team. Second leading scorer, and by the way, just a sophomore, and was the all-tournament team captain a year ago. And then on the other side for Bishop, Heelan coming in with a lot of confidence. One of the best scoring teams in the state, but they're also very feisty on the defensive end, and one of the players to keep an eye on is Brooklyn Stanley. So there you have it. It's Cedar Rapids Xavier and Bishop Heelan to close out the Class 4A quarterfinals. We'll step aside and take a break. When we come back, we'll dive deeper into tonight's matchup with the Seeds for Success here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe it. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion. Because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
It's the Class 4A quarterfinals here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy inside Wells Fargo Arena here in Iowa's capital city of Des Moines. We've got a good one in store for you. It's last year's championship game as the Bishop Heelan Crusaders go head-to-head with the Cedar Rapids Xavier Saints. Hunter Phillips and Tammy Blackstone back here with you. So now, Tammy, as we're inching closer and closer to tip-off, now let's look at our Seeds for Success, brought to you by Kruger Seeds.
Right. For Bishop Heelan today, really going to be important for them to get everyone involved offensively. One of their biggest strengths is that balanced scoring, not giving the Saints any one particular person to hone in on. Also, on defense, they really cannot lose track of Kyla Mason and Libby Fandel. They're going to get their points, but let's not have it be a banner day for either one of them. For Cedar Rapids Xavier, they have the height advantage today, so it'll behoove them to be able to score in the paint and get some quick points or pick up some fouls, and also to pass quickly to beat if Bishop Heelan goes into a zone to beat that zone.
Tonight's Seeds for Success were brought to you by Kruger Seeds. The next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first class seed, first name service. Learn more at krugerseed.com. We'll get you ready for tip-off after another break, and we'll have the team introductions for you next here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
almost ready for hoops here in downtown Des Moines. Class 4A quarterfinal action wrapping up here as two teams that battled for a state title a year ago rematch. Bishop Heelan and Cedar Rapids Xavier. The winner of this game will go on to face the 2-seed North Polk, who easily toppled Clear Creek Amana earlier 61-30. Dallas Center Grimes and Ballard already advancing. Now we'll find out who will join them here after this one. Now we'll turn things over to Joe Hammond, our public address announcer, to meet both teams.
Basketball quarterfinal matchup featuring the Cedar Rapids Xavier Saints and the Bishop Heelan Crusaders. Fans, tradition is an important part of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's storied history. Because our past is an integral part of what we do today, we ask that everyone in attendance please join in a round of applause to show our appreciation to all the women who have participated in high school athletics in Iowa. Because once an Iowa girl, always an Iowa girl. Fans, at this time, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and the Iowa Farm Bureau would like to recognize the outstanding sportsmanship shown by Cedar Rapids Xavier High School and Bishop Heelan High School. In recognition of the importance of good sportsmanship, each state qualifying school was asked to nominate a spectator who represents their school and community in a sportsmanlike manner. Elise Bolton, a member of the IGHSAU Student Athlete Advisory Committee, will present each nominee with a certificate of recognition and a $250 check payable to their school scholarship fund. Please join us in honoring these individuals whose decorum and respect for others serves as a model for all spectators attending interscholastic events. From Cedar Rapids Xavier High School, Tanya Arnold. And from Bishop Heelan High School, Carla Miles.
The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union encourages positive behavior. Pride, respect, leadership, and sportsmanship, both on the court and in the stands. Remember what a great privilege it is to see your team. Thank you for your attendance and enjoy the game.
The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union promotes good sportsmanship by participants, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants, officials, and spectators in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, abusive comments, or intimidating actions directed at officials, participants, coaches, team representatives, or event personnel will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. We thank you for your cooperation and invite you to enjoy the game. And now, fans, it's time to introduce the players in tonight's quarterfinal matchup. First, the non-starters for the Cedar Rapids Xavier Saints. Number 3, Madden Wilson. Number 4, Giselle Lang. Number 5, Ava Turner. Number 10, Carly Jonker. Number 11, Taylor Rexroth. Number 12, Katie Pilcher. Number 20, Reese Commenda. Number 22, Brooklyn Emerson. Number 30, Maisie Fisher. And number 35, Aaliyah Byer. The assistant coaches for Cedar Rapids Xavier are Stephanie Potts, Jim Potts, Beth Somick, and Liam McConville. And now let's meet the non-starters for the Bishop Heelan Crusaders. Number 1, Maddie Demke. Number 3, Addison Keel. Number 21, Kiki Demke. Number 25, Sophia Kuntz. Number 31, Lauren LaFleur. Number 33, Julie Verzal. Number 35, Caitlin Porat. Number 41, Maddie LaFleur. And number 43, Carly Kolb. The assistant coaches for Bishop Heelan are Jessica Carson, Jeff Donaldson, Sean Miller, and Olivia Solente. And now, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for tonight's starting lineups? For Cedar Rapids Xavier, a 5'8" senior, number 0, Emma Arnold. And for Bishop Heelan, a 5'8" senior, number 5, Lauren Peck. For Cedar Rapids Xavier, a 6'1" sophomore, number 13, Libby Fandel. And for Bishop Heelan, a 5'8" junior, number 11, Brooklyn Stanley. For Cedar Rapids Xavier, a 6'1" sophomore, number 14, Sydney Huber. And for Bishop Heelan, a 5'9" senior, number 15, Kenley Meese. For Cedar Rapids Xavier, a 5'11" senior, number 21, Kyla Mason. And for Bishop Heelan, a 5'8" senior, number 23, Jada Newberg. For Cedar Rapids Xavier, a 5'8" senior, number 24, Lexi Turner. And for Bishop Heelan, a 6' sophomore, number 45, Abby Lee. The head coach for Cedar Rapids Xavier is Tom Lilly, and the head coach for Bishop Heelan is Darren Koolstra. The 4 officials tonight are Travis Carroll, Jason Alons, and Bob Squires. Welcome Cedar Rapids Xavier and Bishop Heelan to the 2023 Iowa Girls State Tournament.
And before we begin tonight's game, we'd like to once again thank the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, for their support. The Iowa Farm Bureau has an office located in each county across Iowa, and we'd like to thank the offices listed on your screen for their support of the 2 teams playing in our game tonight. Thank you, Iowa Farm Bureau, for supporting the IGHSAU and the Iowa Girls. So, Tammy, this is a day that they've been waiting for quite some time. You got to wait until 5 o'clock for tip, so time to get those jitters out of the way, because off and away we go in this 4A quarterfinal.
I think we're seeing already some half-court pressure. Very expected to see both teams come out really strong. No one holding back. They've been waiting for this, like you said, all year long.
Xavier in their navy blue uniforms with white numerals and lettering, gray trim. Mid-range shot off the mark from Mason. And Bishop Heelan comes down with the board in their home white uniforms, navy blue numerals and lettering, and gold trim for the Crusaders, the 3 seed here in the Class 4A field, which is a loaded field. Cutting in and off the glass and in. Abby Lee gets the night started for the Crusaders.
It's a great cut. You can see a lot of movement there on the offense for the Crusaders.
Lee 4th in the state in field goal percentage, and as a team, that is where Bishop Heelan ranks as they come away with the steal, napping it away. Stanley, Fandel closing out on defense. Lee with the rebound, not once but twice. Shot fake from Meese. Open look here. Too strong. Another offensive rebound, and the putback. Left short by Meese, who got tripped up. And the extra effort garners a whistle there against Cedar Rapids Xavier.
Xavier is not going to be able to give the Crusaders that many shots at scoring. They're going to need to box out. One and done.
Well, the last time these 2 teams met, which again was way back on November 26th, Bishop Heelan had 17 offensive rebounds in that game. But still, Xavier was able to hang on for the win as Fandel, the talented sophomore, quickly brings it up the floor. Look to give it up in the low post, but the Crusaders with active hands come away with another takeaway. Then they'll turn it over, losing her footing there along the baseline was the 5'8" junior there, Brooklyn Stanley.
Seeing a really fast pace from both teams right now to start the game.
Two 2-0, Bishop Heelan. Another turnover forced. Stanley, this time, left a little short once again. Cedar Rapids Xavier fortunate that the Crusaders were unable to cash in on that turnover. Fandel pulling up. That's off from the mid-post, but there to clean it up with the rebound, and the putback is the top scorer, Kyla Mason. Mason, also among the leaders in the state in field goal percentage, will be playing her collegiate basketball at Central College in Pella. A lot of talent on the floor, multi-sport athletes on both sides. Working in the post, corner three. And that one is knocked down by Jada Newberg.
Newberg is an excellent three-point shooter. She was one of the members of last year's all-tournament team right down here at the state tournament.
And there she is making a heads-up defensive play. Stanley with the catch is waiting for the flyby, but Lexi Turner is trying to make the defensive play. And right now, Tammy, it's been the defensive Bishop Heelan that has been the difference, really eliminating anything for the Saints on the other end.
It has been. They've got their hands on a lot of balls, making those fast break plays. Haven't yet been able to really capitalize until now. A foul is a good result there. But eventually, Xavier's going to need to take care of the ball a little bit better on their offensive end.
So you see substitutions coming in for Bishop Heelan. Substitutions in tonight's game are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. But like we've seen, Bishop Heelan just has not been able to take advantage of the early turnovers as they give it up. Tapped out of bounds. It will remain with Cedar Rapids Xavier, who is down by 3. We've played 3 minutes here in our first quarter.
In those 3 minutes, Xavier's had 4 turnovers, so hope to see him settle down here a little bit. Once again there, got a good defense there for Bishop Heelan.
And you mentioned settle down. You know, again, it really seems like the first 5 minutes or even the first quarter is where teams try to settle down into the new environment, trying to get used to their new lay of the land. And that will help right there, working it there into the post to trim the lead down to 1 for Bishop Heelan.
A lot of adrenaline out on the court, and like you said, Hunter, they will settle down here.
Quick drive in from the wing. That one off by Meese. Working in transition, it's Mason who's unable to finish. Ball gets batted around. Fandel from behind. That's actually Sydney Huber with a nice touch to put Xavier in front for the first time tonight, but we have seen Bishop Heelan just quick to attack and transition as they draw a foul.
It's a great look up the court there for Bishop Heelan, for Xavier on the other end of the court.
That foul was on Kyla Mason, which is her second personal foul, so something to keep an eye on. As Brooklyn Stanley is at the line for Bishop Heelan, and her first free throw is up and in. Stanley, the leading scorer for Bishop Heelan at 14 points per game and shooting 64.9% from the line.
As you mentioned, then Kyla Mason took a seat there. That does change the game when she is out. She's a significant part of their offense and their defense.
So now will be the depth that will have to play a key for Xavier. Ava Turner, excellent volleyball player, member of their state championship team. Comes in relief, and she's a big post. Fandel, nice finish through the lane, up and in.
Fandel, also an excellent volleyball player. In fact, she was captain of the all-tournament team during their state championship run just this fall.
A title that she is used to having both in basketball and then most recently in volleyball. First year they held the tournament in Coralville, and that was Turner right there showing off her volleyball skills, slamming the door on that play. Emma Arnold will check out for Cedar Rapids Xavier. And Aaliyah Byer in for the first time tonight for the Saints, who are up by 2. Corner 3, dialed up, and that one's hit by Lauren Peck.
Peck averages about 8 points a game. She is a solid three-point shooter.
Back and forth here to start this first quarter. Turner kicks it out. Byer swinging it to the right side, but a travel waves off the shot. You can kind of see in the background of that shot a very sizable contingent coming in from Bishop Heelan student section. Cheering on their Crusaders. Good look there for Stanley. She's had a couple. end up getting a foul once again. So Stanley's come up empty on a few possessions, but at least she's been able to draw a few fouls and get back to the line.
She's a really solid player for Bishop Heelan. She averages 14 points a game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals. We have seen her miss some under the basket. That won't continue, I would imagine.
Stanley hits the first. Been a catalyst all season long for Bishop Heelan's success as she knocks down both. Give Heelan a 3-point lead, and they too will work with the bench. Bishop Heelan led by 13th year head coach Darren Koolstra. A lot of experience on the bench for both sides, including Tom Lilly. We'll get to his accolades here in a moment, but once again, it's been Bishop Heelan's defense that has just applied enough pressure to make things uncomfortable for Xavier. Maddie Demke running the point here for Bishop Heelan. Abby Lee got the night started scoring. Wanted to kick it out to the corner. That one gets swatted out by Byer. Fun start to this one, back and forth action. Turner, nice heads up play, knocking away the inbounds pass, and now Fandel will bring it up for the Saints. What a difference Turner's made off the bench. And there goes Fandel, drawing the blocking foul.
Once again, there you see Xavier kind of really pushing to the basket. It does feel like Bishop Heelan's defense is taking them out of their usual game a little bit. We haven't seen them really get set up and see that ball movement and cutting that their coach would probably like to see.
So here is the talented sophomore Libby Fandel, already garnering Division I interest in basketball, as her first free throw is off the mark. Hey fans, Central College has you covered with career-building programs, and with tuition less than $20,000 a year and tons of scholarships, it's the best decision ever. Apply today at central.edu. Fandel splits the pair. That's a 2-point Bishop Heelan lead, 2.5 to play here in the first quarter. Demke will back it out to Keel. Staying along the perimeter are the Crusaders. But loose with the dribble is Meese. Now it's Lee. Down low, nice pump fake and finish there from Jada Newberg.
Jada Newberg is a senior, another member of last year's all-tournament team, putting up a nice shot and score here today.
Averaging 10.5 points per game. She too has just been such a solid piece to this Bishop Heelan team. Foul battling for the rebound. Believe they're going to get that on Turner. That'll be her first personal foul of the game. Team foul number 5 on Xavier here in the opening half. Heelan has 2. Bishop Heelan, the number 3 seed here at State, riding a 22-game win streak. One of the hottest teams, no matter the class, coming into Des Moines. Fandel nabs it away. And then works it all the way in. Lost her dribble momentarily, but cool and collective, Fandel gets the bucket.
Bishop Heelan very quickly brings it back up the court. They're wasting no time getting set up in their offense.
Libby Fandel with 5 of Xavier's 11 points. Heelan up by 2. That one off the shoe, looked like, but stays alive for Heelan. Lee trying to post up on Turner. Nothing happening there. So stalwart there in the low post, which, Tammy, I know you can appreciate.
I can. Ava Turner, a very intimidating defense there underneath.
Especially with Kyla Mason going to the bench with 2 fouls. Such a difference maker she has been. Huber made a mid-range shot earlier. That one just off from the elbow. And now here come the Crusaders the other way. There's about a 4-second difference between shot and game clock to end. It's been an exciting start to this one here in the first quarter. Demke directing traffic. But Turner guarding her. Now under 10 on the shot clock here for Heelan. Neese lofts it to the corner. Here's Demke with the floater, trying to use glass. No. Final few seconds here. A heave from half court. Will not fall for Ava Turner, and that will take us to the second quarter. Bishop Heelan up by 2 after 8 minutes of action against Cedar Rapids Xavier, 13-11. We'll be back with the second quarter after this on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
Hey fans, Central College has you covered with career-building programs and with tuition less than $20,000 a year and tons of scholarships. It's the best decision ever. Apply today at central.edu. Fans bringing the energy here as we are closing in on the final games of Day 2 here at State. The Iowa Girls State Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. Hunter Phillips and Tammy Blackstone, delighted to have you with us here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. So, Tammy, what really stood out there in that first quarter where Cedar Rapids Xavier turned over 7 times, but Heelan, you just have a feeling that they really could have a bigger lead than what they have.
They do. Bishop Heelan has created more shots for themselves. Xavier has pretty much been one and done, so if that ball hasn't gone in, that's been it. Bishop Heelan has been giving themselves second, sometimes third opportunities, and that's been a difference in this game.
Catch there on the low post, and the high jump shot in for Kyla Mason, so had to sit out for about the last 3 or 4 minutes or so of the first quarter due to foul trouble, and immediately her presence felt there with a bucket.
She's going to have to be careful here on the defensive end. She did have a nice stop there on our first possession of the game, but she does not want to pick up that third foul here in this second quarter.
Tip pass, but remains in the hands of Peck. And a foul down low will be called against Cedar Rapids Xavier. So, Tammy, going into that mindset where you know you've already picked up a few fouls, but you also want to maintain that aggressiveness. You know, as a player, you know, how difficult is that?
Very, very difficult, especially here at the state tournament when adrenaline is running high. You mentioned the coaches earlier. We've got experienced coaches, and I'm guessing that Coach Darren Koolstra for Bishop Heelan is saying, take it at Kyla Mason. Let's get that third foul on her. Be aggressive there. We saw Lauren Peck drive in. It wasn't Mason that got the foul, but I think that's what they're looking for.
Darren Koolstra with over 250 wins in his 13 years at Bishop Heelan. And then you look on the other side at Coach Lilly for Cedar Rapids Xavier and the history that he has been able to make. As Kyla Mason gets that one up and in, but like we've seen, Heelan racing ahead and Stanley not being denied that time. So Heelan with an answer, up by 1. Going back to Lilly, though, one of 17 coaches to pass the 600-win threshold and 5 state titles in his tenure with Cedar Rapids Xavier. That's third most in state history, so he knows what it takes to get back on top.
600 wins is incredible, and congratulations to Coach Lilly and his team.
Well, good luck there for Demke. Solid shooter off the bench, but it rolls in and out. Hubert backs it out. Here's a three by Fandel and swishes that one in.
It's a nice long three by her.
And an errant pass there by the Crusaders, and the Saints with the lead pick it up. So for Cedar Rapids Xavier, they defeated Western Dubuque to get into their second consecutive state tournament. It felt like it's a team that's looking to hit their stride here at state. Speaking of hitting its stride, Jada Newberg off to a fantastic start here tonight as she knocks down the triple.
Bishop Heelan just has so many offensive threats. They are using them today. Balance that scoring, make it very difficult for Cedar Rapids Xavier to focus on any one player.
So the second made three for Heelan tonight. Xavier trying to answer with one of their own. Rebound brought in by Newberg, who has 5 points. Just what you would expect between two teams that faced off earlier in the season, way back in November, and faced one another here at the Well for the 4A title. Pass was a little too short there from Maddie Wilson. Fandel with the emphatic takeaway. Emma Arnold pulling up and gets the shooter's touch.
We're seeing a really fast-paced game here. Both these teams like to run. Coach Coolster says, let's take a break and talk about it.
So a 30-second timeout called on the floor, it appears. So we will go ahead and stay here. And so, again, with the high pace that we've seen here thus far, probably a wise thing to call a timeout. Like we mentioned, Coach Coolstra, been in the game a long time, 13th season at Bishop Heelan, so sensing that maybe it's really the right time to kind of regroup his team.
It is, and they've also put on some full court pressure, Bishop Heelan has, and it has forced some turnovers for Cedar Rapids Xavier, and so we may see a little bit more of that full court pressure, maybe some half-court trapping as well. So both teams are they see a lot of running, and they know that they need to keep their legs under them, stay fresh, because we're just getting started here.
That's right. Cedar Rapids Xavier shooting just under 53% to start this contest, while Heelan is right around 28.5%.
Still Heelan, though, getting themselves more shots, so even at that lower percentage, keeping them in the game.
4 different players for Heelan have scored, so going back to, again, the Kruger Seeds for Success, that balanced scoring, that's been really the hallmark for the Crusaders this season. They work down low and using the glass nicely as Kenley Meese. And here's Stanley just like that with the steal and then fouled while going for the layup. Boy, just the aggressiveness by the Crusaders has been relentless here to start.
I really like Brooklyn Stanley's play. She is aggressive under the basket. She's missed a couple, but she's getting herself to the line. She's drawing fouls. She is a leader on this team.
There was a look at the Kenley Meese play, challenging Libby Fandel. That's not an easy thing to do, but then just like that, you blink and takeaway by the Crusaders, and they cash in by knocking down both free throws from Stanley. Give Heelan a 3-point advantage over Cedar Rapids Xavier with less than 4 to play here in the half. Fandel loose with the dribble, and racing there to nab it is Newberg. 3 on the way. Off the mark from Peck, who made one earlier, but how about the play from Meese with the rebound and the putback?
Once again, that was a great steal from Jada Newberg. Meese able to finish it off there. We're seeing that payoff, that full court pressure and intense defense payoff.
So timeout called by Coach Lilly of Cedar Rapids Xavier. So seeing that his team's been beaten on the boards here a little bit, causing him to call a timeout.
Yeah, I think that Cedar Rapids Xavier wants to be able to safely get it up the court, take their time, set up the offense that they're used to playing. I think they're feeling a little bit rushed by the defense that Bishop Heelan is hitting them with right now.
You see the Cedar Rapids Xavier student section here. 13th trip to the state tournament for the Saints, looking to capture their 4th state title in school history. Meanwhile, for Bishop Heelan, also no strangers as well to making it here to state as well.
Coach Coolster has brought them 9 times in the past 13 years. Their last title was in 2020.
Two programs that know what it takes to get to the well and thrive here at the well. Byer goes to Huber.
This Bishop Heelan defense, you see these hands up, just very intense, swarming. And Cedar Rapids Xavier is having a difficult time with those long arms.
5 on the shot clock here for Byer. Has to give it up. Quick turnaround by Mason, and that one doesn't go.
Mason not really having time there to square up to the basket because that shot clock, of course, running down.
Well, and Bishop Heelan has limited her touches as well, especially here in this second quarter. Crusaders up by 5, trying to build on it, and they do.
Jada Newberg has been a real factor here today. That, I believe, is her 11th point on the night already.
Excellent three-point shooter like we talked about in the first quarter, and showing off that shooting stroke here in the opening half. Heelan with their largest lead of 8 points, and that was the third made three for Jada Newberg on the night. So you know something has to give when 2 of the top scoring teams in the state square off. And you look at the amount of shots from beyond the arc. Cedar Rapids Xavier has only attempted 2 threes, while Heelan has attempted 8.
Cedar Rapids Xavier really just having a hard time finding open shots, and I really credit this Bishop Heelan defense.
And in close quarters right there, Emma Arnold couldn't hang on to it. And that is the 12th turnover here in the first half by Xavier. Heelan led 13-11 after the first quarter. They've outscored Xavier 15-9 here in the second. Really settled in here. A lot of motivation really to start for this Bishop Heelan squad on their quote-unquote revenge tour. Shot clock dwindling down. Why not for number 23, Jada Newberg?
Jada Newberg really feeling it here tonight. She has the touch. She found the hoop. She's going to keep doing it. Kenley Neese, great job there getting her hand on the ball. Once again, breaking up that Cedar Rapids Xavier's flow. Xavier has been trying to pass against this tough Bishop Heelan defense, and you wonder if maybe some drives into the middle, draw those defenders in, might help break it up a little bit.
Xavier's last field goal came almost 3 minutes ago, as Heelan is leading by 11. Letty Fandel to inbound right near our broadcast location here courtside. Emma Arnold swiped away by Newberg.
Jada Newberg really having a fantastic first half here tonight.
What hasn't she done? 14 points, 2 rebounds. And getting that steal right there. She fires one in down low, and there's the hook shot by Abby Lee. Excellent ball movement.
Abby Lee, just a sophomore, able to finish that. She's 6 feet tall underneath, but she's going up against 6'1", and so she does not have necessarily a height advantage down there, but very strong move.
Run continuing here for Heelan. They're up by 13. Fandel made a 3 earlier here in the quarter. That doesn't fall. And Newberg will bring it up the floor for Heelan, who leads by 13 with now less than a minute to play here in our first half. 20 points scored by the Crusaders here in the second quarter. And that will give it back to the Saints, who will really need to drum up something before heading into the locker room at half.
Well, that last shot was the one that Libby Fandel she's been looking for. That one didn't fall, but it's tough when you're not getting that many opportunities. It feels like you don't have as many shots to score, but this Bishop Heelan defense has proven to be really difficult.
So a 12-0 Heelan run trying to be ended here by Xavier. Fandel with a nice ball fake. offensive foul will be called against the sophomore.
Trying to create an opportunity there for herself. That time, again, good Bishop Heelan defense. You can sense a little bit of frustration here for the Xavier Saints.
That was the second personal foul on Fandel, so the top two scorers for Xavier, each with 2 personal fouls. That's just the thing, that when things aren't going for you, you have a tendency of trying to force something up. On an identical shot and game clock here for Heelan to work with. Try to close out. Just a dominant second quarter against their nemesis here in recent seasons, Cedar Rapids Xavier. Stanley goes to Meese, looking down low. Meese has to throw one up, and it falls in at the buzzer. The scoop shot falls in for Kenley Meese. And Bishop Heelan scoring 22 points in that second quarter will take a commanding 15-point lead here at half, 35-20. Crusaders over the Saints after one half of basketball. We'll go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll have our halftime show next for you here from Wells Fargo Arena on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Slade's the place for you!
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders, it's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm-strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on a successful year, and remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
We have reached halftime here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. It's Bishop Heelan leading Cedar Rapids Xavier by 15 at half, 35-20. Hunter Phillips and Tammy Blackstone here with you. And Tammy, a 14-0 run that lasted about 5 minutes to close out that first half for Bishop Heelan.
Really significant. Bishop Heelan is playing they're playing like the higher seeded team. They are not playing like the team that lost to Cedar Rapids Xavier in last year's championship. They're looking very confident out there.
A team on a mission, no doubt about that. And now we'd like to take a moment to once again thank our title sponsor, the Iowa Farm Bureau, for their support of the state basketball tournament earlier this week. Aaron Kirtley of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union had the opportunity to speak with Iowa Farm Bureau President Brent Johnson to learn more about Iowa Farm Bureau's support of the IGHSAU and student athletes here across the state.
Thanks for joining us for the 2023 Girls State Basketball Tournament. I'm Aaron Kirtley with the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We hope you're enjoying all the competitive play that you're seeing here today. We're so thankful for those who support us and help us put on such great events, none of which are more important than our longtime partner, Iowa Farm Bureau, our proud title sponsor. Here with me today is Brent Johnson, President of the Iowa Farm Bureau. Thanks for joining us, Brent.
Thanks.
So we want to tell the viewers about the Iowa Farm Bureau and the support that you provide the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Why does the Iowa Farm Bureau invest in supporting the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union in all of our tournament games?
The Iowa Farm Bureau has been the title sponsor for the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union for 18 years. We're thrilled to once again be a part of the state girls basketball tournament. But to us, it's so much more than just a basketball tournament. The athletes competing here today are among the nation's best and brightest student athletes who have a great work ethic and understand what it means to work as a team. We share the same values. Through hard work, our farmers are among the nation's best, not only in corn, hog, egg, and ethanol production, but also lead the nation in conservation. That's a lot to celebrate. And our partnership with the Girls Union gives us the opportunity to honor both.
So your support for youth and education goes beyond the IGHSAU. What other support does Iowa Farm Bureau provide Iowa's youth?
Farm Bureau celebrates Iowa's youth in many different ways. Number one, Iowa Farm Bureau, we give our students across the state nearly $500,000 in scholarships every single year. And through our teacher supplement program, we've given teachers over $450,000 in supplies and money so that they can properly have their classrooms put together for their students. In conjunction with the Girls Union and the Boys Athletic Association, we're proud to sponsor the concussion insurance. You know, there's only 7 states that even offer that. And for the 4th year running, we provide that for those student athletes at no cost to their families so that they continue to compete at a high level. And most recently, we're really excited to announce that we've given the FFA Foundation $1 million so that they can support their local chapters and ag education across this entire state so that they know what the future of agriculture means to everyday Iowans.
The student athletes participating this year are taking home some pretty neat souvenirs from this tournament. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one of our favorite programs is actually the Signature Ball program. And it's a great opportunity that every student competing here today gets to have one of those signature balls so that they can have their teammates, their coaches, and mentors sign this ball so that they can carry this memory forward for them long into the future.
Well, thanks again to our proud title sponsor, Farm Bureau, and for Brent for being with us today.
Yep.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion. Because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
All right, Frank, the store is yours. See you Monday.
What do you think he does in there? Think it's risky? I forgot my phone. And now you know what happens on Sundays.
Welcome back. We're at halftime here at Wells Fargo Arena on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy here in this Class 4A quarterfinal. Bishop Heelan on top of Cedar Rapids Xavier 35-20. Taking a look here, Tammy, at our first half stats. Really a couple that stand out. Xavier with 14 turnovers there in the opening half that led to 13 points on the other end. But Bishop Heelan really it's been the balanced scoring coupled with their defensive pressure that has really been the big story here after one half.
It absolutely has been. A lot of contributors there for Bishop Heelan. Jada Newberg, of course, having a tremendous first half, 14 points, 3 rebounds, but also Brooklyn Stanley. She's 1 for 7 field goals, but she's gotten herself to the line, and she's made them. 5 out of 6 on her free throws, and that balance for Bishop Heelan is really serving them well.
Certainly a big first half for Heelan, who ended the second quarter on a 14-0 run that lasted nearly 5 minutes. We'll see how the second half plays out. We'll take another quick break. When we come back, we'll have the third quarter from you here from Iowa's capital city on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Slade's the place for you!
Living your best life means something different to everyone, especially when it comes to healthcare. That's why Mercy One offers compassionate, personalized care. We are here for you with one team of experts providing access to the primary care and highly rated specialty care you need, easily and conveniently. So go ahead, live your best life. We're with you every step of the way. Mercy One, your best life, our one purpose.
Almost ready for our second half of action on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Our final class for a quarterfinal. Before we dip into two ways, it is Heelan on top of Xavier, 35-20. Fans official state tournament merchandise is now available online, so now it's time to get your smartphones out. Just scan the QR code on your screen now or visit IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. Once again, Hunter Phillips and Tammy Blackstone, glad to have you on board with us here for what's been a fun-filled day two here at State. And so, Tammy, putting on the coaching hat here for a second, what do you think the message was for both teams there in the locker room? Clearly beginning with Cedar Rapids Xavier, who down by 15 here going into the second half.
I would imagine that Coach Tom Lilly, again, tons of experience, 600th win this season, is telling them to settle down a little bit. And it's a delicate balance because they see themselves that 15 points down. They think they've got to hurry. I think he's telling them the opposite needs to happen. They got to settle down and play their game. On the other side, I think that Coach Koolstra for Bishop Heelan is telling his team, keep it up. Do not let up on that defense at all. Those steals that they've been able to convert into points have been incredible tonight.
Cedar Rapids Xavier, you go back to that experience. 15th time in its 25-year history the Saints are here at State, while Bishop Heelan's not too far behind, making its 13th appearance here at State. So off and away we go here in the third quarter. Xavier starting off the second half with the basketball, and they go with a three ball that's off the mark, left short there by Alexi Turner, and back come the Crusaders, who ended that first half on a 14-0 run.
It was a good shot by Alexi Turner. That's what they're looking for, is that open opportunity.
Only the third attempted three by the Saints, and Vandell will be called for the foul, and that'll be her third personal.
That is an unfortunate quick third foul there for Libby Vandell.
It's her and Kyla Mason, the top two scorers. So much production that really were hampered with foul trouble there in the first half, but we'll need to shake through it here in the second half. Good look for Peck, and she knocks it down.
Lauren Peck is a senior, good three-point shooter. She averages 8 a game. She's got 7 here tonight.
Made the first three for the Crusaders and makes the first here in the second half. Shot off the iron and will stay with the Saints.
Let's see if the Saints can take advantage of this second opportunity here. They have not had a lot of those second opportunities tonight.
I mentioned the rebounding edge clearly in the hands of Bishop Heelan, and they have had the active hands on defense, quickly taking it away out of bounds play. High off the window, doesn't fall. Stanley comes away with the board. Why not another? And there it is for Lauren Peck.
Once again, Lauren Peck from outside. Cedar Rapids Xavier needs to get out there and guard her.
7 of 11 Heelan is from beyond the arc here tonight. Shooting well above 60%, blistering clip. For Bishop Heelan on a mission to try to make their way to the semifinals to match up with a very good North Polk squad. Hook shot left a little short. Good job bringing in that board there from Emma Arnold. Fandel using glass. No. Rebound Bishop Heelan up by 21. Peck's had the hot hand. Stanley. Nice bounce pass to Lee, trying to pivot around. A good D down low by Sydney Huber. And the Saints looking for their first field goal since the 4:24 mark back in the second quarter, and it won't come there. Stanley racing ahead, lays it up and in.
Cedar Rapids Xavier having a lot of trouble passing the ball. Bishop Heelan getting hands on nearly everything that's moving on this side, and Coach Tom Moley is going to take a break.
It will be a full timeout called by Cedar Rapids Xavier. The extensive run continues for Bishop Heelan, up by 23 on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7. Rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
A massive 22-0 run by Bishop Heelan has them well in command, up by 23 against Cedar Rapids Xavier, the defending Class 4A champs, 43-20. And Tammy, how about Bishop Heelan coming out and just setting the tone here in the second half, picking up where they left off?
You know, and it's not just on one end of the court. Bishop Heelan is really dominating both offensively and defensively right now. They are getting hands in those passing lanes, really disrupting everything that Cedar Rapids Xavier is trying to put together.
Cedar Rapids Xavier nearly turning it over there, but staying on the right side of the floor is Fandel. There's a three up top. Left short by Huber, one and done possession there for the Saints as the Crusaders are back with it. Stanley, nice turnaround, and she floats it up and in.
Stanley really finding her groove here in the second half. She missed some shots in that first half, still got herself to the line and got some scores. Here, they started to fall for her.
Steal by Bishop Heelan, with Stanley becoming the third Crusader to score in double figures. You have Jada Newberg with 14, Peck with 10, and now Stanley with 11. The lead is 25 for Bishop Heelan. Pass sails into the Crusader bench. We'll go back to Cedar Rapids Xavier.
Cedar Rapids Xavier is such a solid team all season long, and they play tremendous competition. I'm sure they have seen pressure like this. Tonight doesn't seem to be their night as far as getting through this tough Bishop Heelan defense, but we'll see. There's time left in the game for them to turn it around.
Well, and like we talked about before we hit the air, this is a Xavier team that's faced a lot of Class 5A opponents, including Cedar Falls, who nearly made it to state, was beat by West Des Moines Valley in the regional final. But the likes of Cedar Rapids, Washington, and others, they've been battle-tested. But tonight, it has been all Bishop Heelan, up by 27 as we're near the halfway point of our third quarter. Fandel trying to maneuver through, layup left short, and gets the putback in. And so that lengthy scoring drought comes to an end finally for Cedar Rapids Xavier.
I'd like to see more of those drives from Cedar Rapids Xavier. I feel like their passing just isn't there tonight, and so I think those drives might help.
Lauren Peck, how about a third quarter for her?
Of course, it is hard to mount a comeback when you've got Lauren Peck out there on the three-point line, having quite a game.
50-22. Bishop Heelan gained separation with a 26-0 run that started midway through the second and ended just moments ago. Three is off target by Fandel. It's been that kind of night for Cedar Rapids Xavier, while Heelan's been on all cylinders. And there you go. Maddie Demke getting in on the three-point parade.
That's sometimes how it goes with a team. You get that confidence, you derive it from your teammates, and you relax and you have a good time, and it just becomes kind of a self-perpetuating cycle.
Pulling up his buyer. Doesn't go. Ball rolls out of bounds. And, Coach Koolstra coming into the state tournament just calm and collected with his team. They were just so excited to be back here. You never take these trips for granted. But he also knew, too, that, hey, they know us, but we know them as well. And so we're looking to get a little payback from coming up just a little short, not only earlier this season, but here at the Well last year. And, man, what a statement Bishop Heelan has made here in the quarterfinals.
We mentioned it before, but Bishop Heelan is returning 4 starters from last year's team. I think that leadership, that experience is really coming through today.
All the motivation that they needed. Abby Lee taking it, layup left a little short, but tracks down her own miss. And Carey will give it back to the Saints, 53-22. Bishop Heelan leading with just over 2.5 to play here in the third quarter. Our final Class 4A quarterfinal matchup. The top seed Dallas Center Grimes winning easily earlier today over the 8 seed Glenwood. They will face the 4 seed Ballard, who topped the 5 seed Decorah 58-44. The semifinals will take place in the evening hours of March 2nd.
It's time here for Cedar Rapids Xavier to start playing with that sense of urgency. We're far enough into the game that if they're going to mount a comeback here, that's where you start.
And Fandel trying to get the engine roaring here for the Saints. She has 12 points. She's the lone player in double figures for Cedar Rapids Xavier, as a reach-in foul will be called against the Saints. That is their 13th foul here in the half. Bishop Heelan has not committed a foul.
I believe that was on Kyla Mason, her third. She and Fandel, their 2 leading scorers, with 3 apiece.
The Saints taking it away. We mentioned Kyla Mason, leading scorer at 17 points per game, has really been held in check by this Heelan defense. That 3 doesn't hit home for Wilson, but then Turner gets the follow-through. (53-26). Heelan, 90 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
At this point, if you're Cedar Rapids Xavier, it's got to start here on the defensive end. We can't trade baskets at this point in the game. That sort of deficit. They need to stop.
Newberg, step back 3.
And they can't be given second opportunities. That's a tough long rebound always when that happens.
Those can always go either way, but even lower in the post, Bishop Heelan has had the advantage in terms of getting those offensive rebounds that has led to second and sometimes third chance opportunities. We knew that was one of the keys coming in for Xavier to try to eliminate those. A nice swat there.
Good defense there by Kyla Mason. I like that she's staying aggressive, playing with 3 fouls. You do have to be somewhat careful, but you know what? She knows this is the state tournament, and there's no time to be careful.
Abby Lee, the sophomore, tosses it in to Stanley with a nice up and under. The layup just trickles off, and here comes Fandel, trying to end this third quarter strongly. Lexi Turner throws it up. Doesn't fall. Rebound by Jada Newberg, her 5th board of the night. 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists.
Now Bishop Heelan has the opportunity to hold the ball, work for a last shot here at the third quarter.
Third quarter in which they have outscored Xavier up to this point 18-6. Stanley driving through. Well defended by Xavier to draw the travel, and that will give the Saints enough time to work with here. 7.5 ticks to go here in the third to try to get a last-second bucket here before going into the fourth.
Bishop Heelan not going to let them have anything easy. Full court defense.
Fandel will bring it up here in the final seconds, taking it to the lane and laying it up and in with the left hand.
It's a nice finish there by Libby Fandel.
So the buzzer sounds, takes us to the fourth quarter here at Wells Fargo Arena. Bishop Heelan has been dominant through 3 quarters of play. Cedar Rapids Xavier, what do they have left here in the final 8 minutes of regulation? It's 53-28 Heelan here in Des Moines on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Across Iowa, you don't have to look far to find a bank that's got your back. From just around the corner to the next town over, hundreds of neighborhood banks are going the distance to ensure your future looks brighter than ever. By providing jobs, supporting local businesses, strengthening communities, and helping your dreams become reality. Here, the life you build is backed by Iowa banks. See how banks are making a difference near you at iowabankers.com.
Fans, the Iowa Bankers Association is the proud sponsor of the Parade of Champions and the Iowa Student Achievement Award. 53-28, Bishop Heelan with the lead in the ball to start the fourth quarter. Hunter Phillips and Tammy Blackstone with you on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Libby Fandel ended the third with a bucket and quickly takes it there to finish. Fandel with 16 points here as the Saints trail by 23. Nice ball fake, and then taking it there is Lauren Peck, who has had a very strong second half. And Tammy, this was a 2-point ball game to end the first quarter. In fact, Xavier led by 2 points early in the second quarter, but a 26-0 run by Bishop Heelan that spanned for nearly an entire quarter helped them pull away.
I don't think anyone would have expected that second and third quarter here in this game, leading to this significant lead for Bishop Heelan. These teams really do match up quite well today. Xavier just really having a difficult time getting in their own game.
Heelan shooting 46.5%, beg your pardon, from the field today, while the Saints have come up cold, but Kyla Mason is still fighting tough and getting that foul in.
Fandel and Mason, they're both looking to have a strong fourth quarter. I know that their coach told them to leave everything out there on the court. It looks like that's what they're trying to do. Will it be enough?
Bishop Heelan trying to hang on, get back to the semifinals. Newberg's been a big reason why they played well today. Fandel hustling there down the end.
I love that hustle from both teams. Bishop Heelan, even with this lead, not giving it up.
Yeah, you bring up an excellent point, Tammy, in that, it could be easily demoralizing for a squad when they look up at the scoreboard and they see the deficit where it is, but it also says a lot about this group in particular that they're continuing to fight and not going to make things easy here for Bishop Heelan.
That's right. It's a Cedar Rapids Saints. They have a couple of seniors out there. They also have a couple of sophomores. They are a young team. They know this won't be their last opportunity, but they're going to make the most of this one while they have it.
So I mentioned Heelan's shooting number, 64% from beyond the arc, 9 for 14, while Xavier just 1 for 9. Fandel with the lone 3 for the Saints. Here's a corner look. And that one drops in on cue for Sydney Huber. A little too mustard on that. Much mustard on that pass from Kenley Meese. It will give it back to the Saints. Timeout on the floor. And we will take a timeout as well. And even 6 to play here in Des Moines. Heelan up by 20 here in the 4A quarterfinals on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7. Rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Timeout on the floor called by Bishop Heelan with 6 to play here in our 4th and final quarter of this 4A quarterfinal. A 20-point advantage for the Crusaders.
We've seen a little bit of a spark here from the Cedar Rapids Xavier Saints. Got a stop, a nice 3-pointer there by Huber.
Well, you see the fan bases for both teams. Cedar Rapids Xavier, about 130-mile commute from the eastern part of the state. Well, almost a 200-mile commute from the Sioux City area for Bishop Heelan. The support for all the schools, student athletes, has been fantastic here this week. Fandel garners a double team. There's an initial pump fake, and then Mason uses glass. She has been heating up here as of late, now has a dozen points. Layup doesn't go in, but it was last off of Xavier, so it will remain with Bishop Heelan.
That's a nice offensive possession for the Saints. Libby Fandel trying to create something, able to dish off to her teammate for a quick score.
Addie Demke looking to skip that one into the low post. A mad scramble for the loose ball. We'll stay with Bishop Heelan. 29 seconds on the shot clock here for the Crusaders. Fourth all-time meeting between these programs. Bishop Heelan looking for their first win in the series and well on their way, and it's been those second chance effort plays that have also helped propel Heelan tonight.
It really has. I mentioned it before, but they are clicking on both ends. Their defense really has been the spark for this game, but also on offense. They are creating so many opportunities for themselves. They've been able to create those second shot opportunities. They got themselves to the line, like right here.
You saw a little frustration from the sophomore Libby Fandel picking up her 4th personal foul. Stanley at the line for Heelan. 5 of 7 at the line. And now has 14 points. So Lee checks out, as does Fandel. Once again, substitutions here in tonight's game are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. What a heave from Mason out of bounds. Just went off the fingertips of her teammate down court.
You know, nearly a 20-point lead still. Bishop Heelan putting that full court press on. They're like, this is the state tournament. We are not letting up. We're going to keep our foot on the gas here.
20 turnovers they have forced here tonight. They had 10 steals at halftime. Demke bounces it. Meese laying that one up and in, and that started with a nice shot fake from out there along the wing, and Kenley Mice has quietly had a solid night. 8 points to pair with her 5 rebounds.
A really nice control there for the senior.
And how many times have we said Stanley with the steal?
Yeah, once again, another turnover there, just solid defense, those long arms, disrupting passes, disrupting really everything that Cedar Rapids Xavier is trying to put together.
58-37, Bishop Heelan. Just over 4 to play here in the fourth quarter. Mason called for the bump foul. That is the 4th team foul here on Xavier in the second half. Vandell, after a quick breather, she will check in, as does Lexi Turner. Looks like Emma Arnold and Madden Wilson will check out, as will Sydney Huber. So you knew something was going to have to give here in this matchup. And after a brief back and forth affair to start, Bishop Heelan has been able to pull away as a timeout is called on the floor. So it'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll go ahead and stay here. So Bishop Heelan, what a statement, Tammy, for them. You know, again, coming in with a little bit of a salty taste in their mouth. They didn't forget that after coming up just a tad short against the Cedar Rapids Xavier squad from a year ago. But this is a loaded Class 4A field. They'll face a North Polk team that handled their opponent pretty easily before we hit the air, and a lot of games that just kind of got out of hand for opponents. But this is a 4A field that for the semifinals, must-watch TV.
Absolutely. We were expecting a good matchup here today. Sometimes it just doesn't go right for your team, and if it's a night when your shots aren't falling and your defense isn't quite clicking, and the opposite is true for the other team, it really makes it tough. Now there's still time here in the fourth quarter. Cedar Rapids Xavier is showing some spark, but you have to think it may be too little, too late here.
3 by Byer. She's been trying to get that 3 ball working. Doesn't hit iron. Now you'd have to think Bishop Heelan just try to take down as much clock as they can here. See how aggressive Xavier will be on the defensive end.
Last year when Bishop Heelan lost to Xavier in the championship game, that was a 14-point loss, and here they have turned the tables on Xavier.
Well, what a wonderful story Xavier was last year, as Lauren Peck now with 17 points. She has 13 here in the second half. Just been fantastic. But going back to Cedar Rapids Xavier, really just took the 4A field by storm last year, especially against the likes of Dallas Center, Grimes, and a lot of talent. I mentioned their accolades for volleyball state champions there. So a lot of winners on this squad, and a lot of youngsters that will learn from this one and build into next year.
Tremendous athletes. We've mentioned it before, but Kyla Mason is headed to Central to continue her basketball career. Emma Arnold, also a senior, she will continue at UNI on the track team. And of course, we've mentioned before, also a lot of tremendous volleyball players out here on the court for Cedar Rapids Xavier.
And you see that combination quite often. A lot of schools that have been excellent in volleyball also find their way here at Wells Fargo Arena. Deep 3 hoisted there by Demke. Go back to Cedar Rapids Xavier with just over 2.5 to play in this one. But for Bishop Heelan, they were loose coming in with a lot of confidence. Again, on a 22-game win streak, their last loss came to Cedar Rapids Xavier, and boy, came out on a mission, and they will match up nicely against a North Polk squad that defeated Clear Creek Amana, a really good team in their own right, by 31 points, 61-30. That'll be a fun backcourt battle in that one. Michaela Boatman, an excellent scorer for North Polk. Also have Abby Tuttle, one of the top young point guards in the state in the 4A field. So setting up to be a fantastic semifinal round, especially with the matchup that Bishop Heelan will be in here in a couple days.
North Polk also likes to run the court. I think it'll be a very fast-paced matchup there between them and Bishop Heelan.
all about getting rested between now and then. You're so energetic after getting the result that you wanted, but the important thing is just the rest and recovery. Timeout will be called by Xavier. It will be a 30-second timeout. 2:09 remaining here in this one, 62-37. Heelan on top of Xavier, and as we mentioned, Class 2A action will be coming up next. And two rivals will be squaring off against one another, Appleton, Parkersburg, and Dike, New Hartford, the 1 versus 8 matchup. Then, of course, we'll have a fun 4 versus 5 matchup to end the night. So, man, it's been a fun 2 days here. Class 1A, of course, will get things going tomorrow. But, man, just so much talent here across the state, and it's been on full display.
It really has been. It's always a fun week down here at Wells Fargo Arena. You mentioned an important part of this is getting some rest. We do see for Bishop Heelan some players taking a rest now. Lauren Peck finishes her game here tonight with 17 points. Brooklyn Stanley 16. Jada Newberg still in the game with 14 points, but that balanced scoring for Bishop Heelan has been a real advantage to that team.
And Newberg with the ball, player that really stepped up in the second quarter. Wide open look here.
Newberg was a real difference maker there in that second quarter, where things really started to turn around for Bishop Heelan.
And you mentioned Lauren Peck, 14 points here in the second half. She has scored 13 points, rather. Good majority of those came in the third quarter. So when you have a star player that can make that difference in one quarter and then someone can pick it up in another quarter, it's tough for a team to be able to stop.
Absolutely. If you're North Polk watching this game for that scouting report, that makes it really difficult to know. If there's no star that you just can stop one person, that's just not the situation here. They have multiple threats inside and out.
90 seconds to go here to close out the Class 4A quarterfinals. Handling it is Kiki Demke. The Saints will be with it. Here's a good majority of their bench players, role players, coming out on the floor to experience being out here on the floor for state basketball.
Cedar Rapids Xavier looking here at the end of their season. They have Sydney Huber coming back. She's just a sophomore. Libby Fandel will be back, also just a sophomore. They do graduate Kyla Mason, Lexi Turner, Emma Arnold. Tremendous careers they've all had here for Cedar Rapids Xavier under Coach Tom Lilly.
And you know how they start really young and develop through their programs, that no doubt they will certainly have a team fielded next season that will make some noise. Substitution timeout here for Bishop Heelan, whose student section came out in full droves here and had a lot to cheer about here tonight, and they will be back here in Des Moines in just a few days' time. Carly Jonker there on your screen. There for Cedar Rapids Xavier. Here with 55 seconds to go here in this one.
It's always a nice opportunity for these younger players who work hard all season. These are probably some of your JV starters, to have this opportunity to play in front of a big crowd in a big arena. They look up to the older players, to those starters all year, and now they have an opportunity to get out there and have some fun.
Maddie LaFleur taking a trip to the line, and you go to those players that come off the bench. Each day in practice, they are so critical in helping the team be able to prepare for games, and so certainly a moment that they'll all soak in. That one goes in for LaFleur. One of 7 different Crusaders to score here tonight, putting on a clinic against the defending champs, Cedar Rapids Xavier.
It's a nice steal there by Maddie LaFleur. for Bishop Heelan.
So Bishop Heelan coming in with some motivation, trying to right the wrong from last year, coming up short against Cedar Rapids Xavier. These two met earlier in the year. Xavier got the upper hand, but not tonight. Bishop Heelan moves on to the Class 4A semifinals as they defeat Cedar Rapids Xavier 63-37. Cedar Rapids Xavier ends their season with a 16-8 record. Once again, congratulations to head coach Tom Lilly and his Saints for another fantastic campaign, making it here to state. But for Bishop Heelan, a 26-0 run helped propel them to an emphatic victory here at the Well. And they improved to 23-2 on the season, 23-game win streak, and once again will take on North Polk in the semifinal round, setting up a 3-versus-2 matchup here in the 4A field. Here in just a matter of moments, we'll turn it back to our public address announcer, Joe Hammond, for the trophy ceremony.
Fans, please direct your attention to the court for the awards presentation. In addition to receiving medallions, each participating player will receive a commemorative basketball provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from IGHSAU are Gary Ross and Gene Berger. Congratulations to head coach Tom Lilly and the Saints from Cedar Rapids Xavier on an outstanding basketball season. And now, Maddie LaFleur will advance her team to the next round on the official bracket at center court. Bishop Heelan fans, your team advances to the semifinals and will play North Polk on Thursday, March 2nd at 6:45.
So it's time
Fans,
to celebrate for
Iowa Girls
Bishop Heelan. Maddie LaFleur putting the stamp on the bracket there for Bishop Heelan, who takes down Cedar Rapids Xavier 63-37. Now we will jump into Class 2A action. Appleton Parkersburg taking on Dyke New Hartford next here from Des Moines. So on behalf of our entire crew, led by Randy Nielsen, our producer, and from my broadcast partner, Tammy Blackstone, I'm Hunter Phillips, and thank you for watching our live coverage of the 2023 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.